They're telling us on our meetings, these are the execs that we're talking to in the management team. They're telling us that their senior leadership who meets with Jeff is telling them, my number one goal on Amazon is I want to grow live. He wants to grow live for whatever reason, which I thought was, we were just like, because they initially came to us last year when they first started launching live and they wanted Brittany to do it. She was kind of hesitant. She's just so busy where they're doing brand deals or, other stuff. And it's just a lot more lucrative to spend her time doing that than to have to do that. So, she did one for them because they kept asking. The sales weren't great, but she, it was the very first one. And anyway, so then they came back and they're like, Brittany, please do it. You actually pulled in over 1,000 people. We've got some huge celebrities. Sometimes they'll only bring in a couple hundred at a time, on the stream. So she was like, no, because the sales didn't really add up very much, because it was one little stream, first time she did it. So she kept saying, no, for months. And then that's when they finally came in. They're like, look, this is Jeff's number one pet project. How about we offer you X? And then she was like, no, she turned it down 3 times and they came back and they basically, they gave us an offer that we just cannot refuse.
Nice.
So it's guaranteed ridiculous amounts of money every month. There's bonuses put in there for certain revenue that we hit, which we're hitting every time. So it's really great. And then they just upped it to a much higher payout structure for fourth quarter because I really want to push it now. So October, November, December, they just came in and just updated it. So, and then that's when they said, okay, and you can also bring in any 10 products you want and we'll pay for half. So you can offer it for 50% off.
Hey, Ryan, can you hear me?
Yeah, let's see here.
Hey, good to see you, man.
A long time no talk, buddy.
Yeah, how's it been? How's the little baby?
Oh, the baby's great. Thanks for asking. She's doing wonderful. And yourself, you're a first-time parent. I've been seeing on Facebook over the past year. That's super exciting, right?
Yeah, it's been fun. It's a new adventure. It's been great.
It will always be now and BC before kids, right? And it's just so funny. It's just so funny. You just think of before you had children, right? Man, I could have, not saying that, you didn't accomplish a lot in your life, but you're like, oh my God, if only I truly understood the value of time, right? I had kids. I could be president of the United States right now.
You recently quit your job, right?
Yeah, well, actually back in January, first of the year.
January. Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
We recently, it's funny because Brittany was hesitant to, sometimes in social media and you're an influencer, things are a little calculated and we kind of allow things to come out a little bit later. So she recently did a whole thing on the channel about how I recently left my job, but no, in reality, I left the corporate world right after the first of the year. So yeah, I've been at home, just full time with the family and the channel and building that more, and we've been branching out into Facebook and TikTok and doing other stuff, just helping, being involved more in the channel. And then also starting other brands. We have a big jewelry brand that's going to be launching here in a couple of months in time for holidays. And so, I finally did the deuces and it was the greatest feeling ever. Like you guys all talk about, right? When you finally, because it was
you were like a wealth manager or investment broker or something, right?
Was I? No, I worked in the energy industry. I was
energy. Okay.
Yeah. So I was currently past 5 years working for San Diego Gas and Electric, actually, as a portfolio manager, but I was managing more of the large engineering programs at the company, right? Where we were the huge infrastructure projects, that's what I was managing, a lot of that kind of stuff and how that all came together but as great of a company as it was still a job working for the man. And let's just say it was a long time coming because we had been doing very, very well on the channel for a very long time, as I told you, but Brittany was always very risk adverse, like I told you, right? And then this past year, we were just like, okay, I don't care how risk adverse you are, it just makes 0 sense anymore. Honestly, I mean, we were just, very fortunate, trying to be humble, but, just doing very, very well to the point where it's it just does not make sense to continue working for someone else. So let's build these brands. Let's do all the things we want to do. And let's, live happily ever after that way. So,
dude, and there's that opportunity cost too. I mean, I'm sure you know this, right? There's opportunity cost of like it's doing this well now. Imagine how much better it could be doing if you had more time and effort and focus on it.
Exactly. And so that was the conversation that I tactfully was having with Brittany over the past 2 years. And we finally just came to a point where she was just like, she couldn't even fight it anymore. Not that she was trying to fight it, but just, she very much so likes to have security and know that the family's going to be, she's always afraid that things are going to come crashing down, but she's just so successful. We just continue to get more success and the channel continues to grow. So anyway, bottom line is, yeah, I left. So basically for the whole year, I've been home.
Yay.
I know it's exciting. And so yeah, I mean, we're moving forward now, and we have a big jewelry brand that's going to launch coming up here, like I said. And it's so fun, right? Starting new companies, because it's never going to go perfectly. There's going to be 1,000 hurdles. And especially now with logistics challenges, with COVID, massive worldwide pandemics, all of the various fun challenges and hurdles that go along with starting a new company, we've been encountering. Of course, I've been mostly spearheading it. I did hire on a consultant who's like a jewelry expert to kind of work alongside with me, and I used a lot of his sourcing recommendations for several factories in Thailand and now in Italy, and just putting it all together. But it's super exciting, and I think we finally are going to get to the point where we can launch around, my hope is like right around Black Friday. So that'll be coming out. But nice. One of the bigger things that we're excited about is what we had talked about before. And I think I was even talking about something like this when I was on China Magic with you and others, was really get the jewelry is exciting. It's fun. We get hundreds and thousands of women asking whenever she wears pieces. So that's where the idea was for that, right? But really, her channel is more catered to like organization and cleaning and DIYs, and she's mostly known for that kind of stuff. So what we were really more excited about is coming out with a brand that's like an eco-friendly home and kitchen and home products type of thing. It could be organization, kitchen. So already have a brand name for it, just really starting to think about sourcing it. The problem is there's just only so much time in the day, right? Between the kids, and we're always working on the channels, and then now with the jewelry company. And so I just think that there is such massive potential, especially with Amazon, right? And primarily launching this on Amazon, like this eco-friendly brand that we could do. Because we're now getting to a point where, we hold monthly meetings with Amazon management and executives, right? So like talking about, because Brittany's selling so much, we're in the beauty program, the home program, and several others where, they're actually giving us higher commissions than, you saw like that big crackdown on commissions they were doing for affiliate sales and stuff a while back, right? Well, no, they're actually giving us like 10% plus bonuses, all this stuff. But now the biggest thing is that Jeff Bezos's number one thing that he wants to push on the platform is Amazon Live for whatever reason. So they like wanted us, they wanted Brittany to do that. We kept saying no, because it was more lucrative to do other stuff, so they finally just came back and were like, look, here, we're just going to pay you this much, guaranteed money. Here's your bonus structure. So we started funneling all of our Amazon affiliate sales, from the channel, right, where we've got a storefront. We started funneling that through just Amazon Live. So you can record and talk about products, and then after the fact, you can post that actual stream for as long as you'd like. And so we just started putting all the sales through that now. And so it's great. So anyway, my point is, one of the big problems we have is she just goes on there and we like pick stuff that she wants that fits for the video. And this is Amazon products, third-party folks, like private label sellers, whatever. And sometimes we post them on there and we just sell them out of their inventory within 24 hours. We clean out people, and we can't, because we'll talk about a product and we'll sell like 3,000 units for them within the first 24 hours of posting that. And so they just don't have any more inventory. And so, it's a great problem to have, but we're thinking to ourselves, why are we not doing this for our own brands? Like, this is ridiculous. Anyway,
Yes, and imagine if you have that emotional connection to the audience, whether it's just the pretty face of a stranger or your
yep,
actual audience that likes and subscribes to the channel.
yep,
Yes, they're going to purchase. Yes, they're happy to pay a bit of that premium, and also the reviews are going to be amazing because they have that like oh, I love Brittany review status. So.
exactly right. And then in floods all the organic sales, right, from within Amazon, right. So, as powerful as it is, doing it through Shopify, where we've got all the initial launch, and then we're going to get a bunch of sales, but then we're also going to have to do like a lot of Facebook and Instagram sales, right, to funnel additional traffic in. But my thought is, if we're going to launch this company, which we're calling Belle Terre, which just means beautiful earth in French, within Amazon, like what we just talked about. Let's launch it. Let's get all the reviews. What I'm trying to get to is we have the large following, we have the money. We're thinking about partnering with someone and seeing if there's a way that we can just accelerate this launch. People who really know the Amazon world inside and out could potentially work with us for some form of, profit sharing or something like that. So, and I do remember talking with you, and I know that you had partnered with your friends, right, that had a YouTube channel previously. That's not the same brand that you recently sold, or is that a different brand?
So we had an organizing brand that we sold. It was not home. Well, it was home, but not kitchen. It was actually weirdly enough, it was jewelry organizers.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, weird, but whatever.
Sure, yeah, it works. Yeah.
And we had 3 dozen different designs, and so different styles of big ones and small ones and whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And so we sold that one. That one was about just under 2 million revenue. And
okay.
And then we had a 7-figure exit on that one. But we started a new brand, and that was partnering with my friend on YouTube channel, right? And that was Hapa Family, which is the kind of Montessori at home is the niche, right?
Yep, yeah.
And it's been going well. It's been how it is, like to source products and stuff like that. We started in Vietnam, and Vietnam was good, but they're slower. And then we had obviously COVID kind of threw a little bit of a wrench in it, but it's been going really well so far. So it's been good.
That's awesome.
And so the idea now is that we exited the last one. We're just going to grow this one up. We're going to get it up to the $2 million mark, hopefully by the end of next year. Right. And then exit that one as well. And hopefully just kind of rinse and repeat over and over again.
When you're selling that, are you doing like 3 times revenue when you go to sell that off, or like approximately?
The private label businesses are more like 3 or 4x profit, not revenue.
Okay. Yeah.
The revenue, usually that's for things that can scale faster, like tech.
Yeah.
Because like software can scale quicker than physical products, because you have that same issue of like 3,000 units get sold out. You can't sell out of like a software program, right?
That definitely has its pros, that's for sure.
But yeah, the brands are usually like 3 is pretty reasonable. 4 is good. And then you can, if you have high growth and you structure it for an earnout, which depends on you're familiar with how earnouts?
A little bit, yeah. I think so. Maybe you
basically it's a profit. So the earnout, usually there's 1,000 different ways of structuring these things, right? Yeah. But the general way that people structure earnouts is they'll say, okay, hey, you're growing 50% year over year, 100% year over year. Awesome. You're at, let's just make the math easy. Say we're at $1 million, you're 30% profit margin. So $300,000 profit on this brand, but you're growing 50% year over year.
Exactly.
What we're going to do is we're going to pay you 2.5, 3x currently on your current profit. So we'll make the math easy. Say 3x of 300 is $1 million, right? Make the math easy. Right. And then you'll have an earnout, 50%. You get to keep 50% of all gains in profit. So let's say the next year the brand profits 500,000. Okay, well now it's gained 200,000, which means that you get half of that. You get 100,000 earnout.
Right. And you can structure that a million different ways, and then you based on showing the trajectory and your growth up to that point of sale and all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah, and you can negotiate all of that, right, on the sale, and then also your time sticking around too as well, right, and helping the brand out for 3 months, 6 months, a year. A lot of that's fairly typical as well, right?
It really depends. A lot of them kind of want you to stick around. A lot of them want you to get the hell out of their way.
Yeah.
They want you to, they're like, just get out of here. And that's kind of what we were looking for. We actually got a 3.5x on profit and 30 days email support. And then we're done.
That was it. Hey, and then you're just like,
2-week inspection period. We ran the company and they were basically kind of asking us questions on our books and this and that and kind of whatever, kind of like, what, what's this, what's that, why is this like that? And then, and outside that inspection period, then we went to 30-day email support, where basically the way I was kind of thinking of it is that, like, we were in the driver's seat for ended up being about 3 weeks, but whatever, let's say a month-ish. We were in the driver's seat for a month, with them being in the passenger seat. And then the next month was the opposite, where they're in the driver's seat, and I'm in the passenger seat. So I'm just like doing email support. Right. And we had a meeting. We had like it's like an hour and a half long meeting every week. And then just some email support. So it was pretty minimal, actually. And then we were done.
Yeah.
Done. I said, go ahead, send me an email. Like, I'm not gonna like instantly delete your email account now that it's been 32 days, Sure. But so far, since the 30-day period ended, we've only exchanged maybe 2 emails in the last 2 months.
No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. So it depends on how you want to structure it.
Sure. Yeah. And that's one thing, with these brands, whether or not it's like a Shopify, true e-commerce, or if it's Amazon, to go and sell them later, very carefully, and making sure that all these companies, don't have our names on them or anything like that, But I feel like with Amazon, the whole idea with an influencer, like what we have, the channel and the following, to be able to spike the growth and the sales, but also then just hopefully turn it into just organic and just win the, page one, and then you just dominate the sales for it. And then it doesn't really matter anymore about us, kind of, and, exactly. and you need that for when you go to sell. Like if we had a different, say, e-commerce or a Shopify, and we're still reliant on her promoting and pushing for spikes in sales all the time. I mean, how do you go and sell that? I mean, someone who's going to buy that's going to see that's a huge red flag, like, hey guys.
And you could structure it. I mean, earnout makes sense to structure with that incentive, where you guys, you still have a little bit of incentive to do an earnout, or maybe you just get a little bit of maybe you get only a 4x multiple with no earnout, but then you sign up as a proper brand sponsor, kind of as a separate entity, right? And they're like, hey, we're going to pay you 4x on the profit of your business, and oh, by the way, we'd also like to pay you $100,000 a year. Well, I don't know how much a brand sponsor would get, but like 50,000, 100,000, 300,000, whatever it is, to be our sponsor. So we're gonna pay for the business, and we're gonna pay you to keep promoting it. It's okay, sounds nice.
Totally, and that that could be a possible. Yeah, I guess a million different ways to exit these things, I suppose, right? And that would be a very unique way to do it too. Yeah.
What I found with these people, the buyers, there are a few sketchy people that we talk to, like some weird hedge fund or venture capital fund based in Moscow, Russia, that was kind of like kind of sketchy. We got an offer from them that was actually an okay offer, but the earnout, they're like, yeah, we're going to give you this major earnout. And I was like, oh, that actually sounds pretty good. Like, how often have you guys done this? And they're like, well, technically, they said they're going to triple our business every year, right? I'm like, really? Triple? Okay. I mean, that sounds good, I guess. Like, how often have you done this?
How and how often? Yeah.
I'm like, how and how often have you done this? They're like, well, technically, we've never done it. Like, okay, so how many businesses have you bought? But we're going to do it. Like, okay, how many businesses have you bought that you're going to do this? And I said, technically none. But we're great. We're awesome. We'll totally do it. I'm like, no, thank you. So there's that. That was an edge case, though. That was maybe about 10, 20% of the buyers that we talked to. The other 80%, 90%, they're all really good, honest people. I was actually shocked. I kind of thought there would be a bunch of sharks in this. I don't know why. I just thought,
well, hey.
I don't know.
A lot of money being exchanged. I would expect to see a whole variety of types of potential buyers. And
exactly. Everyone I talked to is super nice. There are a lot of people with different backgrounds. There were some major brands that we were the competitor to, who came in and wanted to talk to us, and other ones who were aggregators. And in general, so that kind of deal of you becoming a brand sponsor, or you have an earnout, or whatever it is that you want, that's totally that is not just maybe someday. That's very likely that something like that could very likely happen.
Sure. to be a brand sponsor, for profit percentage share maybe, or something like that. Yeah, you'd have to look at everthing. And
you can even do a JV too, where they take over, they buy 80% of the company, you own 20%, and they run the company, and you still own 20%, whatever it is. There's different deals.
Yeah, my buddy just did that recently with a big business of his. So yeah, I think he owned, but it was like 10. Like they have 90, and he still retains 10. But yeah, exact type of transaction like that. Yeah, it's interesting. Like I said, I just potentially could build the whole thing myself. With the situation that I'm in, I just think that perhaps speaking with some folks and kind of maybe coming up with some form of partnership of, to be able to accelerate and grow this and use expertise that they have, perhaps with, sourcing and just, launch strategies and PPC strategies and all that. And I know it's not overly complicated. Just for me, it's a time thing. Honestly, it really is a time thing with me. If I had all the time in the world to just dedicate on just launching this brand, I would, but I just know with all the 1,000 other things that I have, it would just be one product at a time, and it would just take very, very slow, where I'm thinking it may make sense to partner with someone, right? And just help accelerate the launch and the growth of the company, if it makes sense, right? Talking to the right person. So I do have a call. I reached out to Dan, and, I have a thing with Leiden and them and the Ignite side of the house. So I'm just going to, talk with them on Monday morning, and see if that may potentially make sense, right? But I was just throwing it out there. It just made me think of you as well. And I didn't know if you would even be interested in something like this potentially, or if I'm making it weird by talking with those guys and then talking with you as well. You just came to mind, Andrew, and I know what you've done as well, and just kind of throwing it out there. I know it's kind of out of left field and haven't really talked to you in a while, but what are your initial thoughts on something like that? Would you potentially think about it, or is that like a hard no, or what do you think?
I think it's super cool. I think it's a really cool opportunity, right? Yeah. And I'm just, if anything, I kind of want to just like watch it happen. Just I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I love this. Like Ryan's awesome. Brittany's awesome. I'd love to see just watch it. Right. Yeah. I was going to actually suggest that Ignite probably would be a better provider of that kind of stuff, because they actually have a full kind of like service, whereas I'm just like a guy who runs it. Right. So actually I was going to say Ignite probably would help a lot. Or another idea too is that Titan Mastermind is a really good place to kind of learn all these different things, and to kind of, that's obviously more DIY, but it's pretty like algorithmic, right? Like here's the 20 things, here's the 20 step SOP on how you should launch. And also, unfortunately, they don't include like Amazon Live. They don't have like, oh, if you're a giant major influencer, here's how you do it. It's like, I'm just assuming you're not an influencer with 1.5 million people on YouTube.
Yeah, right.
That's a different way of doing it.
And we're doing month over month sales now. Like affiliate sales now are 600 or 700K a month.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's pretty substantial. Anyway, I just, I thought I'd fill you in on those kind of numbers. And that's why I'm super excited to just jump in. And I know where you're going with that, right? Maybe I could get that. I could set it up. It's not rocket science, of course. And I know you've been doing it for a while, but for me, it goes back to a time thing. And we have so many other, pots on the stove. It's just like, I don't know. Like I could try sourcing and going through and following these things, but and I know that I could do it. It just would take a lot longer than if I was working with someone else, right? And then I could, kind of collaborate and have a team of folks for some sort of, profit sharing percentage or something like that. I don't know.
I think Ignite would be kind of perfect for you. Honestly.
You think so?
Yeah, because they that's what they do basically, is that exactly. And Georgie, did you meet Georgie?
I did meet Georgie. Yeah, she was very nice. I didn't get to hang out or talk a lot with her, but she was at China Magic. I remember. Yeah. She's Australian. Is she Australian? Was it she?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember. Blonde.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. She has a brand called it's Anya or Anya.
Is that the yoga one? Is that the yoga? I remember she had like a yoga brand.
Anyway, she has Georgie has a bit of a social media following, and she and her sister, and they basically used Ignite to run the basic operations of the marketplace side, and they focus on basically marketing and promoting and doing the lifestyle images and that kind of stuff from their side on as like basically the influencer side. Georgie's also really smart. She knows it all, but she delegates out part of it to Ignite. I think they're kind of a perfect example of basically like you guys.
Right. A potential partnership that could exist with like an influencer and then like having them, right? Because I know high level, I haven't actually gone through and built a brand and sold on Amazon before, but as you know, I went to China Magic. I was learning all about this for a long time, but it doesn't mean anything until you get your hands dirty and really, the devil's in the details, right? And doing all of it. That being said, I know it's not rocket science. I know, for the most part, what will be involved before I actually run into all those lovely little, day-to-day, red tape that you got to get through. But it really is just a time thing, Andrew. It really is. Yep. It's like we have so many other projects and things going on too that it sounds like you're right. It sounds like if Georgie's doing it in that way, maybe that could be a good fit for us as well, right?
Yep.
And one of the big things too is like, it's just really the very unique nature of having an influencer sell, right? Is it's not just your average seller, right? You have to have a product that you really, really believe in, and it's going to be, something that you can stand behind, because as an influencer, it's your name all over it, right? And so it adds so much additional scrutiny that you have to understand. Like, we would not launch something on her channel unless we like 100% love the product and believe in the product, right? Like in the quality and all that. So sourcing is huge. And we can't just pull something off of Alibaba and just throw our label on there. It's got to be, we got to work with the manufacturer, at least tweak it a little bit, make it our own slightly, because you'll get nailed by people if you just pull something off of Alibaba too.
So I, just to play devil's advocate and to go down and keep going down that, I'm not disputing, I'm just making sure you think that part through a little bit.
Right.
That's one thing it was a lot slower than we expected, because we did have that same thing. Ashley, my business partner's wife who has the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
She's very particular, which is good. I'm happy. I want to make the big goal of the brand is that we want Ashley to be like stoked, like fucking excited about it.
Right.
But when we get samples, we're on our third freaking sample with this one product. First of all, we kind of have to make sure there's enough revenue that actually makes sense that we can run this business without her just promoting it all day, like you said. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it has to fit the niche. And it has to be something we can actually do, right? We don't really do plastics. We're like kind of do a lot. We're really good at wood, not plastics, right? So
sure.
That's kind of one of our focuses. And then, sometimes it takes one or two, 2, 3, 4 samples, and each sample takes 4 to 6 weeks.
I know.
And then you do a production run. And some issues don't come out until you have your production run, because it's that 1 in 200 case.
Yep.
Right. Well, you don't see 1 in 200 until you sell 1,000 of them, and you see it pop up 4 or 5 times. Right.
Yep.
And so I'm just saying that it is a little difficult. Hey guys, I want to interrupt the episode for just a few seconds for you. Today's episode is brought to us by our sponsor, Helium 10. Helium 10 is one of my favorite tools. I use it literally every single day. Actually, I don't tell people I use this tool. I tell people I live and breathe this tool. So with Helium 10, I'm going to do a quick little demo here. I've actually loaded up a real page. We're going to talk about how to find our launch keywords for a metal taco holder. Kind of a fun project. So here I am loading up X-Ray, which gives us like sales data on all these different products. I'm going to go through here and find a few of the products that make sense. They're all kind of like relevant things. These are all like metal taco holders, right? I'm going to exclude the plastic ones. I'm going to exclude the weird dinosaur ones and stuff. I'm just going to grab a few metal ones. And I think I like to grab 10, but like 5 to 10 works as long as you have a good number of products here to kind of see the algorithm, right? We're all thinking about the algorithm. Now, when we hit that, we can load up Cerebro. So here's Scribble loading. And boom, we have our keywords. We have our keywords that came with, that are our top ranked keywords for these products. So you can see here what the main image looks like, and we can see here a list of all these keywords. We have thousands and thousands of keywords that are going to be things that we're ranking for. We want to have our best launch keywords though, and those launch keywords are, I like to use 1,000 to 5,000 search volume. And also, here's a big one. This is a killer one. We want ranking competitors. Who are our main competitors and where are they ranking? I put 5 to 10. I like to kind of see that the top, like in this case, we have 8. So you're going to have 7 ranking, 6 or 7 ranking competitors. So here I'm filtering by search volume, and we want to find the top search products. And we also want to see how many of them our competitors are ranking for. Where our competitors are ranking is where we should be launching to. If these products look just like ours, then people who search these things are looking for products just like ours, right? So here we have 7 ranking competitors. We have thousands of searches per month. And these products are going to be, now use a human part and think which ones make the most sense for my product. And in this case, I chose these 3, and I think these are the best keywords that we should launch to. That is a quick little 1-minute tutorial about how we use Helium-10 to pick our launch keywords. So this tutorial, I hope you figured out, hope you got some value from this. If you want to use this tool yourself, use ZonCon10 for 10% off for the rest of your life. I have used Helium-10 for, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years, so 10% for life. I'll probably use it for the next 5 or 10 years, right? So go ahead and go to helium10.com and use that discount code ZonCon10. That's ZONCON 10 for 10% off for the rest of your life. That's probably the hardest thing to connect is having that real, she's used to really large companies, or well, large-ish companies who have really good systems and processes for production, and they've been selling the same product for years and years, right? And they really fine-tune those tweaks out of it. Whereas when you guys come in with a new product, you're going to have a few of those little hiccups, and you can't really. You can minimize them, but you can't avoid them 100%.
This is the number one thing that I've been struggling with. I mean, you've nailed it, right? That whole process right there, knowing that we have to try our best to offer something that's going to be of the utmost quality that we can stand behind, because the entire business, our entire reputation of our social media company is on the line, right? Because we've just learned from other launches, from other influencers, what has happened, some lessons learned about just trying to white label stuff or throw stuff out there that wasn't really ready to be, all kinds of production issues. But that in and of itself, it just takes time, and it takes a while.
Here's an idea for you. And this is how we pitched it, because Ashley had that same. We all had the same realization, but Ashley was the most concerned because it's her assets, her platform.
Brittany is terrified. She will, but please continue. Yeah, it's exactly how Brittany is.
Brittany's YouTube channel, Ryan's brand. Ryan is coming out with some badass cool shit that Ryan is into, and Ryan is the one. He's the corporate organizer guy. He's the one who's into the fitness thing. He's the one who's doing the thing. And he's doing it with Brittany. Brittany's helping him, but Ryan is one running it. So that if there's any issue with production or any issue with whatever, Brittany says, "Oh my God, I'm going to deflect that onto Ryan."
No, and she just came out and announced this on the YouTube channel, right? That Ryan's left his job and he's going to be, building the brands, and that's what he's doing. And it's almost like just now tentatively set up, like we could pivot like that. I mean, or full force go into, Ryan's doing these brands, but they know she kind of already talked about it as in it was a family endeavor, and like together we're doing it. But Ryan is the one who's really building them from the ground, but they all know that Brittany's going to be the one launching it on the channel though. So, but I like where you're thinking.
And we did that for and that's why we did that. So it's Mike's brand with Andrew, who Ashley is helping. Ashley is our creative director. We're the ones that are responsible for production. We're responsible for marketing. We're responsible for whatever. Ashley is she does promote it on her channel, right? But but we're the ones but we're responsible for production. And she says she's like, I don't know. These are coming from big factories. I don't know anything about that. They're the engineers. They're the ones that are like tweaking it, designing it, and they file patents and stuff like that. But I'm like excited. I help them do their own thing. And we always say like, glory to Ashley, blame onto my
like, hey, whatever works at the end of the day, right? And bottom line. And that is kind of what Brittany said too recently. It's funny, because she said, Ryan left the corporate world and now he, to be an entrepreneur, and this is what he always wanted to do. And so she's almost set it up that way, like this is Ryan building it, what he wanted to do, get out of. So yeah, totally. It sounds similar to like what you guys had done. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And we also wanted to make sure that we can actually, so obviously we have a very intimate relationship with Ashley because she is sleeping with my business partner, and mother to his children, right?
Yeah.
But, just in case, we always want like two options for everything we do, right? We have two factories, we have two countries, we source in Vietnam as well, and so we want to have like two different options, right? We have, different. So we want to also stand alone without having to use Ashley just in case.
Yep.
And so we are actually doing one of our launches we have coming up. We have two products coming up in 3 weeks. They actually haven't hit at the same time, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. The one we're going to launch with Ashley's channel and one we're going to launch with our own marketing, our own email list, our own social media. And we're not going to have Ashley talk about it.
Oh.
And we're going to see if we can do it without her.
These are two completely different products within the same brand and niche, but two different.
Yeah, same brand, same niche, same. It's all Montessori. It's all right. Targeted at kids under 5. It's all that kind of stuff, right?
Two separate products.
Completely different products. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so and we're just going to see how well it works. You always get a little bit of that halo effect because if Ashley just mentions our website, people will just go to it. So in some sense, we do get that. And obviously we have a lot of cross promoting. A lot of people on our list are from her list and whatever.
That's going to be inevitable. You're not going to truly be able to do a full distinction as to but sure. Still though that But
we're going to see if we can do it just so that we can. Worst case scenario, we just ask her to launch the next week or 2 weeks later. Right. If we screw it up, right? We're like, oops, we don't know how to do it yet. Actually, can you save it?
Actually, can you talk about this product? Actually, it's not selling anything. Yeah.
So just because we do want to kind of keep, we're hoping that we have the techniques that we don't necessarily rely 100% on just her YouTube channel.
Right. And, because back when I first started thinking about all of this, which was like when I went to China Magic with you all, and I was trying to like learn everything and think about like what we had and how it was so unique. And then, we were kind of like going, well, we can really just sell whatever we want. I don't really have to do all that analysis, and it doesn't really. But then the more I think about it, no, of course it really does still need to meet all of that, right? And of course we're going to do PPC campaigns, and of course we're going to do all the other stuff. You know what I mean? It's like you just have this great edge. And the more I've been looking at stuff and thinking about it, there really does need to be like a thought behind the brand and the types of products we're going to offer. But then we got to start cross-referencing all of those potential products to see what actually has, what actually sells on Amazon, right? Amazon's a marketplace. You never go on there with a unique product. You might as well just be doing Shopify, right? Unless it's something that people go on Amazon for, right? You don't go on with a unique product that's not being sold on Amazon. I guess you could start your own. It's just much slower growth, but
yeah, you need to make sure that the demand is, unless you want to talk about on the channel like all day every day, right? And you just push that traffic in, right? You can do that, I guess. If you're a top 5 Amazon Live influencer, then that would, you might be able to do that. But you like you said, you do want it to kind of stand alone. And I think it's not because like I think it's more of a like 1 + 1 = 3 kind of thing. Or maybe it's more like it's not 5 + 5, it's more like 5 × 5, right? If you get the market right and the influencer promotion right, like the market, the keyword demand, the product niche, the opportunity thing there, and you have the influencer, YouTube, Amazon Live, whatever thing going on here, they multiply together and make it like
exactly. And that's my thought, right? Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of just, and I guess I'll start these kind of talks and conversations as well on Monday morning with all the guys too on your team, right? I know it's gonna be Dan and Leiden and a bunch of, I guess, other leaders within Ignite as well on Monday. But I guess I'll talk through all these same type of things. But yeah, that's my biggest, thought in my head is like, Brittany needs to be excited about what the brand is and what she wants to launch and give to people. And then we got to start talking about, okay, well, what could that brand look like? What could that portfolio of products look like for that brand? But then I got to start thinking, okay, well, which one of these products though actually will be successful in Amazon without her as well? Because like you said, I mean, let's not just try to just use the influencer tool that we have, but let's multiply it, and kind of go with something. And so cater the products to do both, something she's excited about and that actually has high keyword search and demand and all of that. Yeah. So
nice.
So yeah, but
man, I think Ignite is a good fit. And just to be clear, I don't work for Ignite, but there's a lot. Right. Ignite and Titan are kind of like,
I know they are. They fit together. It's a lot of the same players. Right? I know it's a lot of the same owners.
Yeah. So Leiden and then Luke Knight, who
Luke, yeah.
Yeah, Luke, he's also one of the leaders inside of Titan. So they're the two, and obviously Dan's like CEO of both companies. Right. But then like they are separate entities. But
sure.
But I do work with Titan though, so I work one of the coaches inside of it. So yeah, I honestly think Ignite is a pretty good resource for you.
Okay. Yeah.
So just I think they're awesome. I know a lot of people who use them who like them. Leiden might get mad if I say that. They're really good. I would appreciate any candid feedback you can give me.
I love those guys, everyone, so look, I'm not going to.
You're comfortable with like a profit share, like an exit share?
But potentially, anything, I would love to hear, any sort of proposals or, offers up front, that we could initial proposals, right, that could be talked about or negotiated or what have you, right? I would love to hear what they think, what they typically do. Perhaps this is a very unique situation that we have going on right here, which feels like it really is. We have a lot of selling power, and now we're working directly with Amazon, and a lot of cool stuff. Like I told you, like they're willing to even allow us to put our products on live when we do the streams, and they're going to pay for 50% of it during the live stream itself.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's ridiculous. And I want to start talking, to Dan and others about, hey guys, like we can actually pull in any products that we want and we can get Amazon to pay 50%. Like, does anybody want to work with us too? Like if the products happen to align with what, we're doing that week or, on our channel or the topics or what have you, right? A lot of different things. Because now that we're working directly with Amazon, it's really exciting, so I just figure like, we have got to get our own brands in here while we're doing this,
That's awesome. That's so cool. Yeah. That's so exciting.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So very awesome. Yeah.
So they said that Jeff said that.
Yeah, they're telling us on our meetings, these are the execs that we're talking to in the management team. They're telling us that their senior leadership who meets with Jeff is telling them, my number one goal on Amazon is I want to grow live. He wants to grow live for whatever reason, which I thought was, we were just like, because they initially came to us last year when they first started launching live and they wanted Brittany to do it. She was kind of hesitant, she's just so busy where they're doing brand deals or, other stuff. And it's just a lot more lucrative to spend her time doing that than to have to like do that. So, she did one for them because they kept asking. The sales weren't great, but she, it was the very first one. And anyway, so then they came back and they're like, Brittany, please do it. You actually pulled in like over 1,000 people. We've got some huge like celebrities. Sometimes they'll only bring in a couple hundred at a time, like on the stream. So she was like, no, because the sales didn't really add up very much, because it was like one little stream, first time she did it. So she kept saying, no, for months. And then that's when they finally came in. They're like, look, this is Jeff's number one pet project. How about we offer you X? And then she was like, no, she turned it down 3 times and they came back and they gave us an offer that like, we just cannot refuse.
Nice.
So it's like guaranteed ridiculous amounts of money every month. There's bonuses put in there for certain revenue that we hit, which we're hitting every time. So it's really great. And then they just upped it to a much higher payout structure for fourth quarter because they really want to push it now. So October, November, December, they just came in and just updated it. So, and then that's when they said, okay, and you can also bring in any 10 products you want, and we'll pay for half. So you can offer it for 50% off during the live stream, which is better than Prime, I think, like, so it's really exciting. So now we're just like scrambling. I'm like, oh, I wish I had a brand ready to go now, like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Because I know that all we're talking about in this whole Belterra brand, if that's really what it is, well into 2022 by the time everything's ready to go, of course, for where we're at right now. But so super exciting stuff, I just want to,
cool, man.
Yeah. I mean, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me. I was kind of just throwing that out there because, I thought of you, Andrew, and I know you had done that. And I got the thing with and I know that there are a whole team built out for this too. So it was just, I'm just looking for any, potential partnership that could make sense to try to accelerate and grow this brand and scale it quickly while we've got these amazing opportunities directly with Amazon. So yeah, but like you said, it may make a lot more sense to talk with Ignite and potentially work with those guys, huh?
I mean, I really appreciate you reaching out, and this is like super exciting. I want like a ride along it, because the only thing I'll ask is you have to give me an update like every month or quarter or whatever, because I want to hear how it goes. So that's exciting.
Absolutely. I think our biggest hurdle is going to be what you already know. It's going to be, it's going to be sourcing these products and getting to a point where we're actually ready to happy enough and with launching each product, right? That Brittany's happy enough.
Here's an idea. Not saying this is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Here's an idea.
Okay. What
if you buy a brand on a platform? There's lots of brands you can pick up for six figures, 300,000, 500,000, whatever. Yep. If you have the kind of cash, you can finance them too. They're really easy to finance that stuff. Yeah. If you do or whatever, if you like that idea. And then you already have a product line, you already have the supply chain, you already have the maybe even like 2 or 3, maybe 1 or 2 assistants that come with it. Maybe even do an 80% buyout, and you retain one of the previous owner on retention or whatever, on some sort of something.
Yeah.
And then you just kickstart, instead of having to spend 4 months looking for a supplier and then 4 months going through the sample process, and then still doesn't quite get there. Then here you are 12 months later, kind of like maybe with one product going that kind of does okay. If you just like kickstart that $500,000 brand, pick it up, it has 5 products that are awesome, maybe even kill one because it's stupid, and you still have, there's 5 in it, you kill one because it's not up to your quality standards, but then you take these 4 and then you're like, this is mine, this is my stuff I want to do.
Yeah, I had thought about that, and I was talking with a buddy of mine several months ago who kind of in a way brought that up, like an idea just like that, buying a brand and doing it that way. The only thing that we were a little weary about was how it already has its history and people knowing, right? Like, I guess you could always acquire for all the background logistics and all the stuff that's built out and change the name, of course, right? Or but then you're losing all of that brand recognition and marketability. What I'm trying to say is it's interesting. Once again, it's very unique when you launch as an influencer, right? Because if you just take someone else's brand and people on there are familiar with that old brand, and they're going, oh, okay, well, Brittany's just bought this brand over here and is just selling that. Like, people will scrutinize anything. We just always have to be worried about, how that comes off, is all I'm saying, right?
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense. Yep, totally agree. Obviously influencer thing more than I do, but one thing I'll say, do you know?
Yeah. I don't hate the idea. Please, I'm not. Yeah.
Do you know who founded Tesla?
There was like these 2 guys, and then didn't Elon come in? And then I remember reading about that like a couple of years ago, that he didn't actually come up with Tesla, that he like took it from somebody else. Yeah.
Do you know who founded PayPal?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't Elon. I know that. He was like X or something. I forget. I remember I read the book a while ago.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You read the book. Okay, good. Because Elon gets a credit for PayPal. PayPal is Elon, because that was his first. Not actually, Elon. He had a small exit before, but like he merged with PayPal, but and then he bought Tesla for like $500,000, and now it's worth whatever $400 billion or something stupid like that. But he's more than all the other U.S. makers. Like the thing, he was just like, I'm a mega millionaire. I don't want to spend 3 years like getting like hiring an HR person, whatever. Like I bought a little box company that had a little bit of infrastructure, and then I built it from $500,000 300 billion.
Bill,
So
Bill
I just throw that out there.
Yeah, but Bill Gates did the exact same thing too. Remember with the C code and all that? Like he bought
CDOS or whatever it was.
Yeah, he bought that. He didn't actually write that. You're right, but he, I don't think his name's not synonymous with it, like that he actually wrote that. But yeah, he bought that, and then that was what was offered by Microsoft later, and that's what really took him off. Right, was the proprietary rights on that code that he had taken, and he didn't spend 4 years writing that in a garage. Yeah,
MS DOS, that's what it was.
Yeah, MS DOS when he yeah. So it's a very valid point. It's just when you're in this world, it's amazing, Andrew, how picked apart you can be though. So you're just scrutinized, and as long as it's not something egregious, it's not necessarily the end of the world. You just always have to be there's that extra layer of scrutiny you just have to worry about as an influencer launching something. So whether that's acquiring a brand or whatever you do, it's amazing what people will start digging up. And then like we've seen with other influencers have just been raked over the coals by like offering something and then they found it on Alibaba and then they just posted it and then the blah, 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 and then it exploded. It's just like a whole, anyway. Well,
Well, it was fun catching up. I'm excited to see what happens to you guys.
For sure.
But yeah, I definitely put a vote in for Ignite. I know that their deal structures change all the time, so whatever it is now is going to be different than whatever I heard a year ago, whatever. But I know that they're starting to ask for like exit bonuses now, but it's like percentages, I think. So they're not going to take like half the company or anything, but just be mindful of that. But you already said profit share or whatever made sense, but the people I've talked to, they've liked Ignite, especially with the kind of stuff that you're wanting to do. Like you're smart enough. The thing is that you're smart enough to do Amazon. You just would rather someone else do it. Right? That makes sense.
Honestly, just between the family, the kids, the other businesses, the stuff with that, being more involved in the channel. And it's not, once again, you're right. It's not like I can't do this. I'm just putting feelers out there to see if it would make sense, right? It's almost like a different, like one option is like you're saying, buying another company and then just using that, or partnering with someone who has a team that could help, just scale this quicker, or I could just do it myself and it would just take a lot longer. But then, of course, you're not sharing anything and you're keeping all the money that way. So, time and money, right? The two most important things. How are you going to spend your time? How are you going to spend your money? So, and time is more and more valuable as I get older. I think everyone realizes that, right? But anyway, this was I really, really appreciate your time though. Speaking of time.
For sure.
And I'll definitely keep you updated for sure. And we should talk more often. And we live in the same damn city. I know that you're only like probably 20. You guys are more down south though, I believe, right? Are you like in the Bay Area or?
We actually just moved out to Del Cerro, which is or San Carlos. Just north of San Diego State.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say okay. Over by is it over by the 8? Are you just above the 8 then over there or?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, we're still up. We're up in like all the way up in North County. And when I say North County, I mean like Lake Hodges. We live right on Lake Hodges, which is right where Rancho Bernardo meets like Escondido area. It's like pretty far north up. It's right up to 15. So you would take the 8 and then hit the 15 and just keep going up probably about 25 minutes.
I just posted the Redfin thing in the chat. We just moved out here like a few weeks ago, actually. So it's been fun, like moving into the new house and stuff. But luckily we moved in before we sold the company because I had to use the income from the company to qualify for the loan. So
gotcha. Yeah. Yep. Of course.
Awesome, Ryan. Well, it was fun talking. Good
for sure. We should definitely do it again sometime. And
for sure,
I'll keep you updated.
Let me know how the Ignite call goes. I think let them know I said good words about them. They'll like that.
I will. So you guys are only having this call because Andrew told me that I should. So anyway, thanks again, Andrew. I hope to talk to you soon.
Awesome. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you do the same. Bye.
Bye. Review from iTunes from Hello World. That's the name of the person. Hello World. Hi, Hello World. Motivating and no BS. Andrew has a unique ability to both motivate you and reassure you to start and grow your business. Very helpful. Thank you, Hello World. Thank you for that iTunes review. If you have not left an iTunes review, I would greatly appreciate it. Just go to iTunes, find the podcast, leave us a 5-star. If you want, you can leave a review if you want. Just hit those 5 stars. It really helps people find the podcast. Just like an Amazon product, iTunes also needs these product reviews too.